If you're exhausted even on days when you did nothing, this might be the real reason. You're not tired because you did too much, you're tired because your brain never clocks out. If that line felt uncomfortably accurate, this is for you. This is no off switch. We don't fix you, we explain you. Even when you're sitting still, your brain is running a full-time job you never applied for. It replays conversations, it scans for tone shifts, it analyzes text messages, it simulates futures, it prepares responses to things that haven't happened, and it does all of that automatically, without asking permission, without stopping. By midday, you've already run hundreds of micro-analyses your brain decided were necessary. Tiny things, things nobody else would even notice, but your brain doesn't know they were small. It processed all of them fully, and processing costs energy. Here's what's happening. Your brain has a built-in alarm system. Its job is to detect danger. Thousands of years ago, danger was physical, a predator, a rival tribe, something you could see. You either survived or you didn't, and then the threat was over. Today, the threats are different. For overthinkers, the alarm system isn't scanning for lions, it's scanning for social rejection, embarrassment, disapproval, future failure, the unread text, the look on your boss's face, the thing you said at dinner that might have landed wrong. Your brain treats those like potential threats. And here's the problem. Your brain does not clearly distinguish between a real threat and an imagined one. If it might matter, it processes it. A lion either appears or it doesn't, but social rejection, future failure, disapproval, those can always be imagined. They never fully resolve. They just transform into the next version of the same worry. And imaginary threats are infinite, which means the work is infinite. You think you're resting, but if your brain is replaying, analyzing, simulating, preparing, you're not actually resting. You're just physically still. That background hum, it's burning energy every minute. Thinking burns energy. Worrying burns energy. Replaying burns energy. The difference is this. When you run 5 miles, you have proof you're tired, sweat, muscle soreness, data on your watch. When your brain runs 5 miles, there's no proof, just exhaustion. And no one believes exhaustion without visible effort, including you. So you tell yourself, I didn't even do anything today. But you did. Your brain worked a full shift. You just didn't get paid for it. And here's where it gets harder. This kind of exhaustion doesn't respond to rest the way normal tiredness does. You can sleep 8 hours and wake up tired because the moment you're conscious, your brain resumes. You can take a relaxing day and feel more drained than a work day because without external demands, your brain fills the space with its own. You can go on vacation and come back more exhausted than when you left because your brain brought its workload with it. Over time, this compounds. You start declining invitations, not because you don't want to go, but because you have nothing left to spend. People see you resting. They assume you're recovered. You know you're not. And this is where a lot of people get it wrong. You're not lazy. You're not weak. You're not broken. You're running a system designed for survival, but it's calibrated for constant threat. And when a threat detection system never settles, the body never fully relaxes. It never says, this is safe. It just moves to the next possible problem. Replaying a conversation doesn't resolve it. Running a scenario in your head doesn't prepare you for it. It feels productive, but your brain treats thinking about a problem the same way it treats solving a problem. It spends the same energy, the same urgency, except there's no output, just depletion. And the cruel part? The more important something feels, the more loops your brain runs on it. A difficult conversation coming up, a decision you can't make, something you said that you can't take back. Your brain doesn't file those away. It keeps them open, like browser tabs that never close, each one running in the background, each one costing something. Processing emotion also uses energy. If you're carrying worry, unresolved tension, that quiet dread about what's coming, your brain is managing it in the background, even if you're not consciously aware of it. Holding things takes energy, and for overthinkers, there's almost always something being held, something unresolved, something unfinished. Now layer on decisions. Most people make small decisions quickly. What to eat, what to say, whether to go somewhere. Overthinkers apply full analysis to all of it. Your brain doesn't have a volume dial that says, this is small, use less energy. It treats every choice like it might matter, because to a threat detection system, it might. By midday, your brain has already done hours of invisible labor, and then you wonder why you're tired. Now here's the part about nighttime. You'd think sleep would fix it. You'd think that when the day ends and there's nothing left to do, the brain would finally stand down. It doesn't. For overthinkers, nighttime is when the brain shifts gears, not into rest, into review. The external noise goes quiet. No notifications, no demands, no distractions, and your brain treats that silence like an invitation. It pulls up everything that didn't get fully processed during the day. The conversation from this morning, the email you haven't answered, the thing someone said 3 weeks ago that still doesn't sit right. At 1 a.m., you're not anxious, you're just finally alone with your own processing, and your brain is catching up on the backlog. That's why the thoughts feel clearer at night. Not because your brain is working better, because it's working without interruption for the first time all day. The problem is that's also when you need to sleep, and a brain that's mid-process doesn't sleep easily. So you lie there, running the same loops, replaying the same moments, preparing for the same conversations, and you wake up tomorrow already behind. The world measures effort by what it can see. Your effort is invisible, which means you often don't get credit for it, not from others, and often not from yourself. You know that very specific kind of tired, where even explaining why you're tired feels exhausting? That's the one no one talks about, because there's nothing to point at, no finished project, no visible output, just internal processing. So here's the real reason you're always tired. Your brain is working overtime on threats that may never happen, keeping tabs open that were never meant to stay open, running shifts that have no end time, and imaginary threats never run out, which means the work never finishes, and the exhaustion never fully goes away. You didn't do nothing today. Your brain worked a full shift. It just didn't leave any evidence. When your brain can't tell the difference between a real threat and an imagined one, it processes both at full capacity. And since imaginary threats are infinite, the shift never ends, and neither does the exhaustion. When you rest, does your brain actually rest, or does it just find something else to process? Subscribe to No Off Switch, psychology for brains that won't shut off.